Hello, everyone. Carlos Toro here. I'm joined by the unbeaten Quinton Randall, who's going to be fighting William Jackson on the free preview show of the April 17th Triller Fight Club event. Quinton, how's it going?
Man, it's going good, man. Camp has been good. I'm feeling strong. I'm 100% ready. Ready to put on a good show.
This event, captured, not just the boxing world's attention, but also the entertainment world at large. How excited are you to sort of say that you're going to be fighting on this event that's really going to get captured, a global audience? That's very few events can really capture nowadays.
Man, I'm excited. Some of my all-time favorite rappers are going to be up there, like Snoop, Ice Cube. I'm excited to meet them. I'm a fan of Justin Bieber, so I'm excited to fight in front of them because I know they're going to be in attendance. But I love fighting. Man. This is something I do. This is something I love. I put my heart and soul in this. So fighting on whether it was this platform or even smaller one, it was going to get 100% out of me anyway. But I'm glad it's this one. It's big. It's going to be like a boxing show slash concert. So I'm 100% ready for it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does it add a little bit more to the motivation, knowing that you got Snoop, you got Ice Cube, the rest of Mount Westmore, Justin Bieber in attendance, is basically watching your fight. Not a lot of fighters can say they've had that kind of audience in person at those events.
Yeah, man. Nah, I didn't know when I was gonna be able to meet. I just know they was on my to meet list, and so I'm gonna meet them sooner than later. But I'm most definitely give them a great performance.
What went through your mind as you kind of got that call that you'd be fighting on this show? How did this sort of all happen?
Well, my manager Peter Kahn, which is one of the best managers in the game, he's over the Triller Boxing network. So he told me, he was like, man, I got something big coming up that you're going to be fighting in, so just stay ready. I was like, all right, cool. He didn't tell me what until a couple weeks back. And when he told me it was this, I was just like, nah. But then when he started explaining to me the details of it, I was like, okay, that sounds dope. That's something new. And so I'm just happy and honored to be on it. So
You're coming into this fight, with a great win over Giancarlo Rivera last year, and shaking off a year of inactivity because of the pandemic at the same time. How did it feel sort of fighting back after a year of not fighting in the top rank bubble, where, I'm sure it must have been sort of a different experience compared to some of your past bouts. How was sort of that overall experience fighting for the first time in the pandemic?
it was different because like I've never had a year layoff in this sport in my life. I've never had a 6 month layoff. So my body, like my timing was off, like everything was just off. It felt like I feel so I seen everything that I needed to see. That's why I didn't get hit with much. I seen it, but my reaction time was a little off because I was just so inactive as far as competing goes. So now that I'm back in the groove of things, I'm back fighting. The training is going good. My sparring is elite. Like you're going to see a whole different version of me come this fight.
William Jackson, your opponent, he's unbeaten in his last four fights, coming out of a draw against Trayshawn Wiggins, who's been in the ring with a lot of quality names in the past. What's your overall assessment of William Jackson?
I know he's coming to fight. He's coming because this is an opportunity for him to change his life as well. This is as far as me and changing mine. So I can never sleep on anybody. Like any man that I fight, that is the most dangerous man I've ever fought in my life to that point. So I'm gonna treat it as such. So he's gonna get 100% of quick draw. I'm not gonna shortchange him. I'm gonna treat him like as if I'm fighting Mike Tyson, but I'm gonna be on my P's and Q's and he's gonna get all of me.
I know a lot of people, certainly took notice of you with the win that you had against Giancarlo Rivera last year in the top ranked bubble. But do you feel like with this platform on Triller, on this show, this is the fight where you kind of announce yourself to the world and to boxing that you've arrived and you're someone that should be taken a lot more seriously and be someone considered on the rise?
Yeah, it's gonna be a new fan base for me because some people who not just into boxing, but they like Jake Paul because he's a YouTuber and they're going to watch because he's on there. So I'm going to get new fans. I'm going to get a new audience. And so, yeah, I'm most definitely going to put on a show because I need the welterweight division to know that I'm here and I'm here to stay. So, and I'm looking for tougher fights after this fight as well. So I'm always looking for the better opposition. Anything that'll boost my career and gives me more attention. That's what I want. I don't want just easy opponents. I don't want walkthroughs. I want to compete. I want to fight.
With this being, your first fight of 2021, we are a third of the way done with 2021. Do you sort of have any specific names, or do you have a goal in mind in the ring as far as 21 is concerned?
Still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. So I want to compete. I want to fight. I want to fight some of the best. Like I have a couple fights scheduled this year. At the end of the year, I'll be between 11-0 or 12-0. And all my fights is I'm not taking no step back fights, all step up fights. Each fight is going to get more difficult and more difficult. And each fight you're going to see just a bit more of what I can do. And when the time comes for me to claim my world title, you're going to see all of me.
Quinn, one thing that, reading up on you, one thing that I love about your story, you were able to overcome, a prison sentence, found your calling as a boxer, and you've been able to succeed pretty darn well at it. I mean, when looking back on that time in your life, in those constant struggles that you've been able to overcome, how do you kind of see yourself maybe as inspiration for anyone, who may be also going through a troubling time in their lives, and maybe even look up to you and be that sort of inspiration to sort of also make it out of whatever predicament they're in, and also whether it be in boxing or in life, just succeed?
Let me just say this. I never thought I'd be an inspiration for nobody, especially when I was young. I was just so going down the wrong path. I never thought I'd be an inspiration for anyone. But over the years, I've heard that I was an inspiration. And it's a kind of a weird feeling because I never thought it'd be like that. And I'm honored for people who look to me as that. And it's a privilege. So, and that's another reason why I do some of this. Like, I don't want to let nobody down. Like, I try to be a symbol of strength to a lot of people who are going through hardship and been through some of the things that I've been through, especially guys coming out of men and women coming out of prison, and they don't know what they want to do because I didn't become a statistic. So I try to lead by example and lead the way, but I follow the blueprint of Bernard Hopkins. So, and I just hope they follow the blueprint of me or him. So yeah, man, it's different it's different when I hear that somebody tell me they look up to me. And so it's a good thing. And so it just motivates me. It keeps me hungry. It keeps me strong. And so, because I don't just fight for me, I fight for anybody who looks up to me, my family, my friends. I just fight to change the entire legacy of my life and where I was at, where I am now, and where I want to go and where I'm going to end up.
I know you took up boxing seriously after you left prison, did great as an amateur, and then turned pro. But when did your love of boxing first began?
I was like 12 or 13 years old. Just in the streets, getting in boxing gloves in the neighborhood, and got hit with a punch that made my head hurt so bad. And then I fell in love with it. And then my first gym I ever went to was George Foreman gym. I didn't stay long. My mom felt like, because I was still fighting in school, my mom felt like, if you learn how to box and you still fighting, then you gonna really think you bad, and that's gonna make it worse. So she took me out of it.
If I got this correctly, you've trained and sparred with the likes, Jamal and Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence Jr., Regis Prograis, who's also fighting on April 17th on Triller. And they all are guys who are known for their power. Out of all those guys, or anyone that you really sparred with, which of those, in your experience, hit the hardest?
Well, I never sparred Jamal. I sparred Jamel,
okay.
Regis, Crawford, Earl, Rosario, Jared Hurd, and all of them who hit the hardest. Damn, that's a good one. I would probably have to say Jamel has the hardest punch. Yeah.
That's an interesting choice. I would have figured, someone like maybe an Errol Spence, who's just it just looks impressive, especially with the way he came out of that win against Danny Garcia. I mean, but again, all those guys are elite world class fighters at 147, and Regis at 140, and those guys at 154. With this fight that you got coming up, do you sort of look at it as, not just a must win, but sort of a fight where you have to impress, where maybe a win isn't going to be enough, where you perhaps may need a knockout to sort of really cement yourself as someone who's about to take over?
Yes, I'm most definitely going there like I have to impress. I'm most definitely going there with the mindset like be flawless, If the knockout comes, then let me not say if the knockout comes. I'm going for the stoppage. There's no ifs, ands, and buts in my mind. I'm going for the stoppage, and but I'm going to set it up the right way before I take him out. I'm not going in there blaze of glory. I'm going to break him down. I'm going to set him up, but I don't plan on this fight going 8 rounds at all. And so when I do stop him, then I'm looking to get back on the ball in June or July for another stoppage. Like, I understand that knockouts sell, and I understand people love seeing that. But to a crowd like this who don't know much about boxing, for the ones who's just there to watch, a knockout is the highlight of their night. Like, they're gonna remember that. They may not remember me boxing, but they're gonna remember if I knock somebody out. And so I'm looking to make a statement.
Before I let you go, I gotta ask, who do you have in this main event between Jake Paul and Ben Askren?
Man, I don't know Ben. I've seen Ben Askren fight, and I've seen Jake Paul fight. And even though Jake Paul, man, I can't say he's not a real fighter, because he may have not fought boxing guys, but from what I've seen and what I'm learning, he's really in the gym. Like, he's really training, and he really put his time and effort into this. So I'm a ride with Jake. I'm a ride with Jake, and so, but may the best man win. But I'm a ride with Jake Paul on this one.
Were you surprised that someone like Jake Paul, who may not exactly have the best reputation around, is seemingly sort of taking boxing seriously? As you mentioned, he has not faced, boxing guys per se, but from what we've seen on social media, it does look like he is putting into work. Like, he's not really taking this for granted.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I seen he's gonna fight Nate Robinson, I said, he gonna knock Nate ass out. And then he knocked Nate out. I was like, yep. So, but now I'm not a YouTuber guy. Like, I don't go on YouTube to look at YouTubers and see what they're doing. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing until not too long ago. Like, when I'm on YouTube, I'm looking at boxing or anime or listening to music. So I never went on this stuff and did anything about it. I didn't even know who he was. I just know he was a YouTuber. And so when I heard he was boxing, I was like, oh shit. Well,
no, wait, hold on. You said that you go to YouTube, you listen to music, watch boxing, and you watch, and also for anime.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask. What do you watch? I'm a huge anime fan myself, and I really want to know what you watch.
Man, okay, but my personal opinion, Dragon Ball Z is the top of all time to me. That's just my personal opinion. But Naruto is like right there. I think Naruto, that storyline with Naruto Shippuden is unmatched. I like Berserk. I like Bleach. I watch Yu Yu Hakusho. I watch My Hero Academia, Attack on Titans. Did I say Bleach?
Yeah.
What else do I watch? Man, I just finished. I'm watching Jujutsu
Kaisen.
Yeah, I'm watching that. I just finished the Demon Slayer first season of that. Man, I watch anime. I'm an anime person. Like, I can sit in my house all day and watch anime if I'm not training.
You know what? I already liked you a lot before this interview. I love you even more because I also spent several hours a day just watching anime, and I did tell you right now, out of all those you mentioned, Yu Yu Hakusho, all-time favorite, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. I just finished watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and obviously now watching My Hero Academia with season 5. So it's it's been a really damn good time to be an anime fan.
Yeah, man. Like, I watched One Piece, but I'm so far behind on that one.
I give it up on that. That thing's like 1,000 episodes long. I was at like episode 70 when I was like 10, and I'm like, no, it's way too much of a commitment.
Yeah, that's what I did I did the same thing with Naruto. I started with Naruto in 2017, and I finished all of Naruto, all of Shippuden by the end of 2017. So it took me a year to watch all of it.
That is that's really, really impressive. Well, yeah. Well, Quinton, thanks so much for taking time to talk to me. Best of luck, April 17th, Triller Fight Club free preview show. You're going to be taking on William Jackson. Quinton, looking forward to seeing you in the ring.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.